from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the national news broadcast of Rupavahini. We are coming to you live from the National News Studio. I'm Delanjali Ananda.
I'm Charita Miniprarachi, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
47,000 dengue patients since January. The health divisions request everyone to collaborate in controlling the spread of the disease. Asvesma appeals accepted till the 10th of July. State Minister Siyambala says world powers support Sri Lanka. A threat of kidney disease afflicting people in many villages in Mahyanganaya. An underworld gangster connected to many crimes killed by police shooting. 54 new buses deployed to the northwestern province. Virgin coconut oil brings dollars. Russian military leaders and Wagner mercenaries clash. Now for those and other stories in detail. A clear increase has been recorded in the number of dengue patients.
More than 47,000 dengue patients have been found since January this year. More than 23,000 patients have been recorded from the western province. More patients have been found from Colombo and Gampaha districts as well. Public health inspectors say more than 35 dengue patients are being reported from Gothatuwa each day. A special program is being implemented to minimize the spread of the disease. The work got underway from the Kalanimulla area. The Sri Lanka Police, the Sri Lanka Air Force are joining hands with the PHIs in inspecting mosquito breeding places and enlighten the general public. The Air Force is using special drone aircraft to inspect bare lands and buildings. Senior consultant physician Dr. Ananda Vijay Vikrama says the government alone is not able to control the dengue disease. The people cooperation is necessary. Dr. Vijay Vikrama made these remarks participating in the 101 Talk program produced by the Presidential Media Unit. Senior consultant physician Dr. Ananda Vijay Vikrama said that there is a risk of dengue epidemic with the upcoming monsoon season. He said that in general, the months of June and July seen as an upsurge in dengue patients. Therefore, all parties should work with utmost care to control the dengue virus. He further emphasized the importance of taking precautions against mosquito bites in order to avoid spreading the dengue virus to others, including covering the body with long clothing and using mosquito repellents. He further said that blood count reduction is common when dengue is contracted, but some patients may show complications. He said it can also be treated with diagnosing earlier.
The State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siyambala says Sri Lanka has received the support of world powers, including the International Monetary Fund. He has made these observations to the media in Ruanvala today. The State Minister said that the IMF agreement is the only way out of this collapsed economy at this time. He said that there are people who look at this from different angles and try to disrupt it. He said that it is very important to give the public a real understanding about what is really happening. Minister further said that the President, the government and they are making a determined and clear effort to recover the economy of this country, and the IMF has accepted that we as a government are making a very special and determined effort. He said that if somebody disrupts the process, the country is more likely to return to the position where it was at July, August and September months of 2022.
Sri Lanka's first ever mobile journalism festival, Mojo Lanka, started today. The festival, which is organized by USAID and IREX, was held at the Marikita Courtyard Hotel with the presence of US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chong, and the founder of Mojo Fest Limited, Glenn Malke. The festival will be held from 24th to 25th June. The two-day festival intends to educate content creators on the latest trends, including the powerful impact of citizen journalism, strategies to combat fake news, and techniques for growing an audience for digital content.
And you can go subscription. Again, you know, there may be something more when there's a big breaking news event and never served by the big broadcast organization in the field. And that's lost. You might look and then try. The buttons are too small, it doesn't zoom, it can't people who really didn't want to hear my message. And again, as I said to you, that gives you two opportunities. TV news, at least, is in decline. You don't have to take photographs or take notes. You can have Twitter, thanks to this, by the way, so that 2 generations back. Okay, top of the range, that team of mobile journalists. Now you're going to see these QR codes. You know, look at these as well. And I've discovered when I look back, arguments are gone, and yet they like all the other fake news.
I'm so delighted to join you here today to open the Mojo Lanka Festival, Sri Lanka's very first Mojo Festival. It's a celebration, it's a showcase of the power of mobile journalism in Sri Lanka. And as the United States and Sri Lanka celebrate 75 years of bilateral relations this year, we are at a historic moment in which information is more democratized than ever before. Everyone here with a smartphone in their pocket or purse has the potential to tell a story, to present an idea, express an opinion, and reach an audience. I know that's true for me as somebody who's almost addicted to my phone and as an active social media user. Such technology was not imaginable 20 years ago. Think about that. 20 years ago, what were you doing? Yet today, there are more active mobile cellular connections in Sri Lanka than the entire population, which demonstrates the explosion of technology. Technology has changed journalism as well. Stories can be more well-rounded and offer different perspectives, increasing the power to fully inform people and affect positive change. Engaging in reporting professionally or as a citizen journalist requires a courage of your convictions to discover the truth and share it clearly. One thing hasn't changed about journalism, and that it's because it is so important to remember it is the cornerstone of a healthy democracy. Now, unfortunately, the 2023 World Press Freedom Index issued by Reporters Without Borders rates Sri Lanka as 135th out of 180 countries. The situation is assessed as difficult. Meanwhile, Freedom House, in its 2023 Freedom in the World Index, rates Sri Lanka only as partially free. In such an environment, the role of mobile journalism is more important than ever. The type of reporting often conducted by ordinary citizens armed only with their mobile phones is independent of many of the constraints the mainstream media faces. Events can be recorded and disseminated in real time and sent out to the world unfiltered. Now, overall, that is a benefit, but it is important to remember 1,000 individual cell phone videos can also tell a distorted story. It's one of the reasons USAID's Media Empowerment for a Democratic Sri Lanka activity offers this mobile journalism training. Mobile journalism has revolutionized the way we consume information. It has disrupted the media landscape, creating competition, giving rise to citizen journalism.
Hello, my name is Glenn Mulcahy. I'm the founder of Mojo Fest, one of the longest running international mobile journalism conferences. I'm here in Sri Lanka for Mojo Lanka, the first mobile journalism conference in Sri Lanka. I've just delivered a keynote which talked about the evolution of mobile journalism, which basically is making news stories with the device that you have with you. And over the next 2 days, I'm going to deliver some workshops basically to show people the essential skills that you need to do really good, engaging storytelling that will inspire your audience and hopefully entertain them. The core benefit of mobile journalism is that it's incredibly accessible. So over the last decade, we've seen the evolution not just of professional mobile journalism coming from news networks, but also the growth of user-generated content and citizen reporters. So what it does above all else is because mobile devices are ubiquitous, there are millions of them, if not billions of them on the planet, it gives everyone the potential to tell a story. It gives a voice to the voiceless.
Today is the 6th day of the Kantaragama Asala Festival. The Parahara paraded the streets for the 5th occasion last night.
Many ancient rituals were performed at the Kataragama Mahadevala premises today.
Rangapuri Khattaragama 2023 official media sponsor ChannelEye Rupavahini. Today is the 6th day of the annual Asala festival of the Ruhuna Mahakattaragama Devalaya. And starting from today, several changes take place, and let me just point them out to you. Early in the morning, there was a special almsgiving at the official residence of the Basnayaka Nilame. This is an ancient custom that has existed from the time of King Dutugamanu, and it's customary to invite more than 4 Upasampada bhikkhus to this meritorious deed. Basnayaka Nilame, Chief Ritual Master, Adhikaram, Board of Ritual Masters, as well as members of the staff take part in this meritorious deed. And then the foliage in front of the shrine, the great foliage in front of the shrine was removed, and in the evening it was replaced by greenery, by the tuskers and elephants. And from today onwards, the Basnayaka Nilame is visiting the procession, which will obviously draw more people into the to seeing the procession. So with all of that, we'll be back with the latest updates.
Sri Lanka has embarked upon a program to develop virgin coconut oil.
Accordingly, the consumers will once again have the opportunity to enjoy tasty and quality coconut oil. It is a foreign exchange earner as well. Virgin coconut oil is considered as the mother of all coconut oils because it contains favorable fatty acid needed for a healthy lifestyle. Foreign buyers show great interest on virgin coconut oil. There's a high demand for Sri Lankan virgin coconut oil in the foreign market. Instead of dried copra, white coconut kernel is being used for virgin coconut oil production. In order to maintain the moisture percentage below 8%, the only dried is used the temperature to keep it below 60 degrees Celsius. Exportation of virgin coconut oil has become a lucrative business, bringing large amounts of foreign exchange. Many direct and indirect job opportunities have been created through virgin coconut oil business. The Sri Lanka Export Development Board has provided financial support for the procurement of equipment for strong virgin coconut oil of international standards.
The Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says those who have become eligible to receive Aswasma benefits but whose names are not included due to some reason have still time to submit appeals. He has made these remarks at a ceremony at the Sitavaka Divisional Secretariat Division's office yesterday. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that there is still time for anyone to submit appeals till next week. He said that if any person who feels that they were unfairly treated could submit appeals. He further said that if mistakes and shortcomings have occurred in the selection of Aswasma recipients, it will be rectified and no disabled person or low-income person will be left behind.
And meanwhile, residents in Girantharakote says that kidney patients is rapidly spreading in several villages in the area. They further say that agrochemicals being used in farmlands is a reason for the affliction of the disease. People in many villages including Mahyanganaya and Girantharakote have become victims of the kidney disease. In Girantharakote alone, there are more than 2,000 kidney patients. Doctors at the Girantharakote District Hospital say conditions of around 200 of them are life-threatening. Contamination of chemicals and insecticides have made the water impure. The farmers request authorities to provide them with quality organic fertilizer instead of chemical fertilizer. Today is the third day of the Industry 2023 National Industrial Exhibition.
Large crowds flocked to the venue of the exhibition at the Bandaranaike International Conference Hall premises today as well. The aim of the exhibition is to strengthen local industrialists for an export-centered production economy. Several institutions, including the Ministry of Industries and the Sri Lanka Industrial Development Board, organized it. The theme of today's exhibition is Youth and Women Entrepreneurship. The exhibition is comprised of 750 display stalls under 20 categories covering the entire industrial sector. Major objectives of the exhibition include encouraging industrialists and innovators, introduction of new technology, creating new market opportunities for local and foreign entrepreneurs, suppliers and buyers. The exhibition, which commenced last Friday, will end tomorrow.
And now let's move on to some more local news items in brief. Organized criminal and a henchman of drug racketeer Ganidu Sandabina was killed by police fire. He was shot to death when he attempted to shoot at the policemen who came to arrest him. The STF was engaging in the raid as it was found out that Ganidu was hiding. A person was cut to death by the Batadua. The police say the murder was committed by a group who came into motorcycles when victim was having liquor with a group of his friends. The victim is also reported to be a person who was released on bail after a murder case. Two persons were severely injured in a motor accident in Bandaragama-Kalutara road. The accident occurred when a van clashed with a motorcycle. The 5th Battalion, which goes for peacekeeping duties in the state of Mali, have paid their respects to Army Commander Lieutenant General Vikum Lienage yesterday. The group included 20 officers and officers in 222 other ranks. They are also the 4th peacekeeping team to leave the island. The first South Korean International Buddhist Conference with the participation of 9 countries was conducted recently. It was organized by the Chief Sangha Nayaka of South Korea and Chief Incumbent of the Korea Sri Lanka Mahavihara, Venerable Thalgamuye Dhammaki Thera.
The steps have been taken to make more efficient passenger transportation services in the northwestern province. 12 SLTB depots were provided with 54 new buses today, valued over 550 million rupees. 12 buses were handed over to the Kurunagala depot for deployment in the rural roads. 500 buses are to be the Indian Credit Scheme. Minister Bandula Gunawardene, Governor of the Northwestern Province, Lakshmanya Pabewardene, participated in the occasion of handing over the consignment of some more buses. Minister Bandula Gunawardene said Sri Lanka was able to receive only 500 buses. Out of this number, more than 10% was handed over to the Northwestern Province. The cost of these buses is 11.5 billion rupees. Every depot will have to report profits by the year 2025. The minister added that if robberies or corruption not taken place, each SLTB depot must show profits.
A workshop on National Emergency Operational Plan for Development for 2023-2028 was held in Colombo yesterday. It was organized by the Disaster Management Center. Minister Pramita Bandaratennakon said on this occasion that as Sri Lanka is subjected to national calamities, it has become a crucial need to have a pre-warning mechanism and crisis management. It was also been reiterated that the existing strategically planning should become updated. The newly installed infrastructure facilities at the Kotalavala Defence Academy was vested with the students yesterday. Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne has presided over the event. The new infrastructure facilities include the Somadevi Women's Hostel Complex in Verahara, the Faculty of Law, the Faculties of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities. Launching of the book Post-Independent Defence Policy has also taken place in addition to a conference.
Now, the Kanda Surindu Homage program will be conducted till the 2nd of next month.
රටක් පුබුදන රයිගම් දෙවැනි එක 100% සහල් නූඩල්ස් කදිර දිව්‍ය රාජ චිත්‍රපටය අගෝස්තු 3 වනදා සිට
That's all on local news. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
அதிர்ஷ்டம் பெறும் எமது வீரனே நாடு விட்டு நாடு சென்று வென்ற தோழனே பீப்பிள்ஸ் ரெமிட்டன்ஸ் மூலம் வென்ற சூரனே உழைப்பினாலே கடமை செய்த பொறுப்பாளனே கோடி அதிர்ஷ்டம் அல்ல முன்கூட்டிய வாழ்க்கையை வெல்ல பீப்பிள்ஸ் ரெமிட்டன்ஸ் வரமே கோடி அதிர்ஷ்டம் தருமே
வாராந்தம் 1 லட்சம் ரூபாய் மாதாந்தம் 1 மில்லியன் ரூபாய் ஆண்டிறுதியில் மாபெரும் சீட்டெடுப்பில் 1 கோடி ரூபாய் உட்பட மேலும் பணப்பரிசுகளை வெல்லுங்கள் பீப்பிள்ஸ் ரெமிட்டன்ஸ் கோடி அதிர்ஷ்டம் நேரடியாக அனுப்புங்கள் பெரும் வெற்றி காணுங்கள்
මානුවර පොත්දැක්ව 2023 ජූලි 26 සිට ජූලි 2 වෙනිදා දක්වා පෙරවරු 9 සිට පස්වරු 7 දෙක කැන්ඩි සිටි සෙන්ටර් හිදී සංවිධානය ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොත් ප්‍රකාශකින්ගේ සංගමය
On foreign news, Russian President Vladimir Putin says an armed mutiny by the Wagner Group is treason, adding that decisive action will be taken against them. The authorities in Moscow and the surrounding area say they have declared the counter-terrorism state of emergency after the chief of the Wagner private military company, Yevgeny Prigozhin, claimed his forces were in control of military sites in Rostov. It has been reported that Russia's FSB security service has opened a criminal case against the Wagner's chief for the armed mutiny. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia's weakness is obvious and that the longer Moscow keeps its troops and mercenaries in Ukraine, the more chaos it would invite back home.
Moving to the Greece update, European border officials say that Greece did not respond to an offer to send a plane to monitor a migrant boat that later sank with a huge loss of life. At least 82 people are known to have died in the incident last week, but the UN says a further 500 may have drowned. Greece has faced criticism for not doing more to respond to the disaster. It has also been found that the migrant boat hardly moved in the house before it capsized, contradicting the Greek claim it was on a safe, steady course. The crowded fishing boat had to set out from Libya and was first detected early in the morning of 13th June in international waters moving towards Greece.
But China's capital, Beijing, topped 40 degrees Celsius for a record third day as the Chinese capital sweltered in extreme heat. Uncommonly high temperatures for June grilled an area the size of California is reported in northern China for a record 3 days. The temperature measured by Beijing's benchmark weather station in its southern suburbs briefly soared above 40 degrees Celsius. The city of nearly 22 million people had never logged 3 straight days above this mark since setting up the Southern Observatory in 1951.
The Facebook update, the Meta platforms which owns Facebook has said it will begin to restrict news on its platform on Canadian consumers.
Move by one of the biggest.
The company plans to end access to news on Facebook and Instagram for all users in Canada once the Parliament approved legislation requiring internet giants to pay the news publishers come into effect. Meta and Google have both already been testing limit access to news to some Canadians. In 2021, Australian users were blocked from sharing or viewing news on Facebook in response to a similar law.
The passage of Bill C-18, but the government says it will not be threatened into pulling the bill.
Prima Katami Fantamai.
On sports news, Scotland has been able to gain eligibility to enter the World Cup cricket tournament by beating the United Arab Emirates team by 111 runs in a qualifying round match played in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe yesterday.
Scotland batting first has scored 282 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in 50 overs. Captain Reggie Barrington has scored 127 runs. Junaid Siddique has took 3 wickets. The United Arab Emirates team chasing a victory target of 283 runs were all out for 171 runs. New Zealand women's cricket team has arrived in the island to compete in one-day T20 tournaments. This is the first instance of a New Zealand team arriving in Sri Lanka on a one-day and T20 tournament. The only day tournament will get underway in Galle on the 27th of this month. And under-19 and under-15 Sri Lankan national teams left for Australia today to participate in Waverley International Netball Tournament, which will commence in Melbourne on the 27th of this month. Kadawatha Central College beat Sapukaskanda Central College by 8 wickets in the annual cricket encounter played at the Commando Regiment grounds in Ganemulla yesterday.
That's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on ChannelEye. I'm Dilanjali, together with Chaitya, signing off. Good night.
Good night.